Get started early in property and investing. This is The Real Estate with Neil Osher. Talk 100.3.
Yeah, Lachlan Kitchen, as we said, filling in for Neil Odger this morning. We're joined by the CEO of Provident Real Estate, Loai Fakir, who is our guest in studio. You've been working in real estate here in the UAE, well in Dubai, since 2006. What first made you get into real estate and start your real estate journey?
It was actually kind of accidental. I mean, I came and moved to Dubai in 2005, wanted to get into marketing and advertising. I fell in love with Dubai, and I was like, this is a city I want to live and be here. So I was trying to submit my CVs everywhere, going to interviews everywhere, couldn't get the job because I had no advertising or marketing experience. Suddenly I met a gentleman that had a web company called Cacti Media.
Right.
And, you know, that was the closest thing to marketing and advertising I could get into. So I did that for like 6-7 months. He was opening another real estate company at that time. And I was like, you know, the boom's happening. Everyone's getting to the real estate. The city's booming. That's what it's all about, tourism or real estate. I was like, do you mind if I dip my hands into real estate? And he's like, sure, do it. And I moved to his real estate company. It was called PRB2. And that's where I started my journey. And
look, I've only been in Dubai a couple of years, and the growth of buildings and roads in the city is extraordinary. Back in 2006, what were the main areas of Dubai that you were renting and selling back then?
It's incredible. I mean, most of the projects that you see today didn't exist when I arrived. I remember coming out of the airport and driving downtown, on the left was desert. It used to be called Defense Roundabout. Marina was just starting. JBR was just beginning of it. They were just delivering the Springs, the townhouses. So a lot of things didn't really exist. And back then, actually, the population when I arrived in 2005 was around 850,000. Today, we're like 3.7 to 4 million. So you can see the amount of growth the city has grown since that time.
Yeah, so it's an amazing time to come in. Obviously, there was that boom, and then you've had the the crash around 2009, and then you've ridden all those waves ever since then. And obviously, there was the downward trend, like every industry with COVID. But we really are experiencing a boom over the past 12 months in real estate.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people tell me I was lucky to experience the boom of 2006 and 7. I think this boom has outpaced any boom I've ever seen in my life. I mean, we're in one of probably the greatest cities in the world, and what's really happening today with all the people moving to Dubai and the real estate boom and the projects being developed. Like, I mean, we're developing like incredible projects, brands like Cavalli, Pagani, Versace, all these different brands are coming to Dubai and creating projects with developers. I mean, it's incredible. And
that investment, where is it really coming from? Is it foreign investment or local investment for most of those projects?
Look, we've had a huge influx of international investments coming in. After the COVID, the way the government really managed the situation during that period attracted a lot of people from Europe and around the world to move over here or to come and see Dubai. And when they saw Dubai, they fell in love. The safety, the security, the lifestyle, which, you know, I don't think any city in the world is offering what Dubai has at the moment. And they're like, you know what? That's where I want to live. That's where I want to have my family.
Yeah, so it makes it certainly very, very attractive for investors and also tenants. In your work and your experience with Provident Real Estate, what's your advice? Why is it important maybe for anyone to take advantage of this boom, to really say, right, now is the time I really need to invest and grow my business?
I mean, look, everyone should own a home. This is part of, you know, the first investment. Most, investments, they say real estate is a tangible asset. It's the number one thing that you need to put your money in.
Yeah.
You don't want to be paying rent for someone else to be making money on your money, I guess. So we highly recommend everyone to own a property, and a property you're making ROI, continuous, returns on your money, plus capital appreciation.
There is that, but I think I have found in the couple of years I've been here, like a lot of expats that fall in, no one really plans to spend 15 years here. So I think there's the idea of, I'm going to do a year, so I'll find a place to rent for a year. Oh, I might do another year or two and then go back. And I think because of that trap is the way a lot of people then look back after 4 or 5 years and go, hang on, I paid $400,000. I could have put halfway through a unit by now.
100%. I mean, that attitude was, I think, the plus. A lot of people who are coming here, I think, are planning to move over here and stay for a long time. They're calling it home. And, the government also with the investor visa, the 10-year golden visa, the 5-year visa. And there's a whole new generation. I mean, Dubai started booming probably in the 2006. So you can meet people that have been born here today. And Dubai is their home. And for me now, I've been here 18 years. 18 years is the city that I've lived in most of my life. Dubai is home now.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, Dubai is home. And that attitude's kind of changed a bit.
I think you probably touched on a key point when it comes down to the investment. Surely that has had a big impact on real estate. The amount of people that are sitting here and thinking, I'm getting a 10-year visa. I want a property. More and more people are looking to move and buy straight away, as opposed to give it a couple of years and test out the market, because the way certainly Dubai and the wider Middle East has rebounded over COVID-19, and you're hearing all sorts of reports about back in Australia and also in Europe that there's a looming recession. And there is a theory that no one can predict it, but this city and its economy will probably be far more robust to be able to protect itself in light of that economic downturn.
100%. I mean, I get this question all the time. What's going to happen to the market? What's going to happen to Dubai? And you're completely right. I mean, in 2008, when the US and Europe crashed, the whole world crashed, it came to Dubai. It took 6 months, but we felt it and it hit us hard. But today the market is very different. Dubai, the people are coming over here and moving because of safety, security. It's
healthcare as well.
Healthcare, definitely.
Yep.
I mean, 250,000 Russians moved over here last year. Amount of companies, I can't remember, 50,000 or whatever, open new companies. It's just incredible amount. I don't think these guys are going anywhere anytime soon. And I think, I came back from my vacation on Tuesday, 2 days ago. And when I landed, the amount of people that were in the airport, I've never seen Dubai airport that busy in my life.
And you've been here some
18 years. 2005. It was incredible.
And the airport, it still works. That's what's amazing. When you have all those people, you don't have huge long queues like you do at many other cities. When it comes down to your drive, as you said, you've been here 18 years. What do you think drives a particular individual to build not just a business, but really drive them to build a successful business?
I mean, for me, I've got passion. When I see people being successful and bring their families over here and buying their own homes because of something I helped build, that gives me great satisfaction.
Yeah.
And our goal of the company is, we want to be one of the leaders and we're going to have the largest market shares. So seeing the growth and being in Dubai as a city motivates you to become a better entrepreneur and better businessman yourself. Because it's in your face 24/7.
Well, there's constant movement. There's
Correct.
constant change.
Yeah.
So if you're not evolving yourself,
100%, that's what it is.
You're going to be left behind.
Correct. So that motivation, that driving force is always pushing me and my team in order just to be the best that we can be.
Yeah, as a business leader, what inspires you, or what do you look for in a team member when you're looking for employees, other than someone who probably speaks Russian these days? What do you look for?
I mean, look, there's certain characteristics, their motivation, their ambition. I really look at loyalty, honesty, because most of the people that are with us, been with us for a very long time, because we put a lot of time into the people. Like you guys met Natalie a couple of weeks ago, and she's part of our growth and development department in the training, and we really put a lot of investment in training getting the right people in the whole interview process. We're filtering them out, and when we get them on board, we put a lot of investment in training them, because we just want the best people to be around us, to understand our culture and our values.
It's a key thing. Every business always talks about the importance of culture, and the importance of looking after your people. We're currently in conversation with the CEO of Provident Real Estate, Loai Fakir. If you want to join the conversation, you've got any questions in regards to the market, in regards to investment, let us know. 058 686 1003 is the WhatsApp number, or you can call us toll free. It's 800 81003. This is on Talk 100.3 and Talk Real Estate. Just a quick question that's come in. We can get to you. It says, good morning. I want to ask, why should I invest in the UAE and not any part of the world? Is it because of security, or is it the case then, does it mean that the European and other markets are not secure compared to the UAE, although these countries do give you a permanent resident? And also, is my investment in the UAE secured if I get property here? So I guess there's concern around the security of your money being here compared to, say, areas in Europe if you were looking to invest in property.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dubai's evolved a lot throughout the years. I mean, actually, I would say it's one of the most mature markets in the region. Not one of, it is probably the most mature. It's very highly regulated. If you're buying an off-plan, all the money's going into an escrow account, and the developer cannot use any of that money only on the construction and development of the project. So your money's not going to go anywhere. And if the project gets cancelled or anything, worst case scenario, the government has in the past got involved, restructured it, developed it, or rechanged the project and got the investors' funds back. So in terms of security for your investment, I think it's probably one of the most secure countries in the world right now. Talking about other countries, there's great investment opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
I invest myself in the US, so I'm not going to be saying anything.
Which part of the US?
In Ohio, because all my brothers living in Ohio. So we've been investing in properties. We put them in the rental pool. But I'll be honest with you, the capital appreciation that I've been making on my investment in the UAE and the ROI on my rentals is far higher here than anywhere else in the world. But that's because it's a developing country still, right? So the opportunities
There's
lot more.
More space for growth.
Correct, and it's growing, and it still continues to grow. And you can see the vision of Sheikh Mohammed year on year with all new announcements and they do, and all the changes that keep on happening. And there's still so much huge opportunity of growth that's going to come here. And for Europe, I don't want to be annoying or sound arrogant, but the growth in Europe slowed down a lot. The governments take a lot of time because of bureaucracy to make any changes or improvements and all that, and they've actually gone backwards while the UAE's been moving forward, and that's why everyone's moving over here and not moving to them anymore. I'm sorry to say.
Well, no, it's a fair point. I mean, it's very hard to sort of say Europe as one economy because there are different factors, and there's
Obviously,
always booms and bust areas, and I know from my experience, certainly as an Australian, there's so many levels of government. Your local government, then your state government, then your federal government, and there's red tape, and and here things just get done.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why it does become such an attractive investment. Thank you very much, Faisal, for that message. If you do have a message for Loai, who's in the studio, Loai Fakir from Provident Real Estate is joining us in the studio, 0586861003. For many people here who are renting, take us through the process simply. If you're looking to buy a property, what's your first step?
Find a broker.
That's a good one. Okay, so
do your research. Depending on what you're buying, if you need financing, you need to go get a mortgage, speak to your bank, or speak to a mortgage brokerage agency.
So you would say the first place would be a mortgage broker before going to your bank?
Sometimes the mortgage brokers can get you better rates and terms and conditions than your own bank.
Yeah.
So you can do both. Go speak to both of them, see who can get you better terms and conditions if that's your finance buyer, a homeowner. So I would advise you speak to your bank. The moment speaking with the bank, you can figure out what kind of budget you have, and then you can speak to a consultant. And then consultant, depending on your budget, can really advise you to where you should be purchasing.
And people who are purchasing, how much can you is it 50% of your monthly income? How is it calculated in terms of how much you can borrow based on your income?
It keeps on changing, so I don't want to give you the definite, even though I own a mortgage company, but usually I give that and you got to speak to the mortgage consultant. But yeah, it's a certain number of what your salary is times. But you got people who are self-employed also, and you got people that have their own businesses.
Is it possible if you're self-employed to get the mortgage? 100%. It still is.
We're even getting international investors mortgages over here with that don't even have a bank account in the UAE, up to 50%. So yeah, you can. In certain nationalities, preferably like Europeans, Americans, Australians, are able to get international finance. Okay,
companies essentially with stronger visas or stronger passports are able to do that. And when it comes down to a down payment, is it roughly a minimum 20%? What are you looking at? Or is there's no set rule?
It's a regulation from the central bank. It's about 20 to 25% on your first property, and then of course it goes less for the second property and the third property. But there's special offers from the banks where they include some of the fees in, so it can kind of increase a little bit. But yeah, you got to speak to a mortgage consultant on that, and he'll give you the right advice, because it's constantly changing and there's different offers all the time. So you got to speak to a mortgage consultant or your bank to get the latest information.
Yeah, it is confusing. Even you're not really having a Dubai conversation these days unless you're having a conversation somewhere about real estate and how much did your property and how much did the rent go up. And the conversation everyone seems to be having is, how much can my property go up? I'm about to come into the renewal, the 12 months coming up. What is it? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Is it 20%? Do I look it up and try and work out where exactly I can work out? And people are really feeling the pinch economically. If you don't own your own home, I think there's a lot of people in a lot of countries, it's mortgage stress. I think it's rental stress here for the fear, for the fear of, my year's coming up. What if it goes up 15%? What do I do? And so it's a real thing here, isn't it?
100%. So a big concern for a lot of people. I mean, the rents are going up by 15, 20, 30%. I know some areas going up 100% on the Palm.
Wow.
Even more than that. You got like the garden home villas were renting a couple of years ago for $350,000. Now they're renting $1 above 1 million. I know properties in the Palm, like a 2-bed was renting for like 140. Now they're going for like 270, 280 in Oceania.
I mean, sure, that's not the same tenant. They're having to get rid of a tenant.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a certain percentage that you increase on the tenant on a rental calculator, but even now there's regulation coming in where the landlord can dispute it and go and ask for an audit of how much has the rent changed, and he can increase it on you.
Okay.
So there are changes, and the market is so dynamic. There's changes every day going on. You need to be updated with everything that's happening.
Which is why you should speak to the experts in the business. You can always speak to Provident Real Estate to get more details. In your business, we've been touching since you've been here for 18 years. You've been here since 2006, and how the market has really developed and changed. But I think a lot of people would be looking at the money that's in real estate and thinking, maybe I could be a real estate agent. Maybe I could be a broker. What advice? I wouldn't say what advice to give someone, but what are the traits that you would look for in someone to be successful in real estate?
Look, before you get into anything that you're doing, you got to love and have passion for it. If you don't, you're not going to really succeed. Everyone looks at realtors about the, glitz and glamour of their life.
And they see the reality shows and they think it's all showbiz.
A lot of them are working 60, 70, 88 hours, weeks in order to be successful. And there's like probably over 10,000 brokers. Not all of them are making money, obviously. There's a lot of successful, great brokers making crazy money, definitely, but you need to really, really work hard. You need to be out networking, be knowledgeable about the market, updated, be involved with all stakeholders, be involved with all the realtors in the market, get to know them, get to know the developers very well, get to know people in the land department, get to know what's happening in the market, going networking, visiting developers. There's so much involved. Getting listings, making hundreds of calls, following up with clients that tell you they want to purchase it, disappear on the last minute. So it's an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people. So if you're not passionate and you don't love what you do, I'd never advise you to be get into the business. I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, one of my friends came to me. He has a small business, a great business, and he said, "Oh, you guys are making so much money. I want to get into real estate." I'm like, "Buddy, you got an amazing business. You just started. You're gonna kill it. Stick to what you're doing." Because I purchased this product, and this product was amazing. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. 2 years later, he's got 4 offices around the world, building partnerships everywhere, and he's very, very successful because he's passionate about what he does. So I always advise people, be passionate, and I'm always looking for the passion and the long term of the person who's joining the industry before we, bring them on board.
Yeah, my father was in real estate in Australia for about 40 years, and Sydney was one of those countries that was, it's relatively new, and it had that growth period, and he used to explain about how in his time real estate changed because it was all about trying to find a buyer. Yeah. And how can we get the right buyer? And then he said, as the city has exploded, went from, a bit like Dubai, went from sort of 3.5 million, now Sydney's at 6 million, that suddenly it's all about getting the listing. There's too many buyers. It's about getting the listing. Is
Same
the job.
issue we're having today.
And I was going to say, that seems to be the issue now, is it's not finding the buyer, it's getting the rights to the listing of the property.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one thing. I'll give you an example about yesterday. There was a launch of the West Villas in District 1, and I had agents in my office crying because they couldn't get the stock for their clients.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is part of our business, as an emotional roller coaster. Go to the developer's office, sit down, and maybe there'll be cancelled unit that you'll get for your client.
So talk me through that process. So when you're buying off plan, when people do invest, they're not purchasing the unit. They put a down payment,
correct,
to secure the right to then purchase when it comes available. And some of those are cancelled.
No. So how it works? It's not exactly. So what you do is you do a booking, you do a reservation. So you put a small token amount that you're reserving the unit, and within a certain period that you may have to pay 10 to 20% of the value, plus the Al-Qud fees, which is 4%. And then you sign a sales and purchase agreement. So you actually own the unit right now.
Yeah.
Al-Qud is a pre-title deed of ownership, but you have a payment plan. The moment you finish the whole payment plan and you receive the keys, you get the full title deed, which moves from Al-Qud to a title deed.
Yeah.
In essence, you have ownership of the property, and usually with developers, upon that you've paid 30 to 40%, sometimes 50%, upon that amount that you've paid, you can resell the unit if you wanted to.
Okay, so that's where it becomes available. 0586861003 if you'd like to send a message. This is Talk Real Estate. We're joined by Loai Fakir, the CEO of Provident Real Estate. You can send through a message on 0586861003. In your work with Provident Real Estate. How long has the company been in business for now?
Established August 2008, so we're hitting on 15 years now. Yeah,
wow, so you were saying you arrived here in 2008. That's rather ambitious. 2005.
I came in 2005.
Real estate in 2006. And then
open in 2008.
So what made you, when you were working in the industry, think, hang on, I can do this on my own here? Where did that inspiration come from?
My boss was my friend, so I learned a lot from him. He was my mentor.
And you wanted to go into competition with him?
Well, because when I opened up, the market was, you had the 2008 crash. I opened up in August, September, you had the Lehman Brothers crash. So
that must have been a stressful time.
It was a stressful time. I was scared, but the company was like just starting up. So all the big companies were downsizing. So it gave room to new generations. New companies are usually born. A lot of actually the main companies today that exist, the big ones, I would say were established around the same time as us, 2008.
Well, that's what Warren Buffett says, be greedy when everyone else is fearful.
Correct, yeah.
And that's what you did.
Yeah, and because I told you I was like focused on marketing, so I was building websites, doing SEO, doing organic stuff to get the traffic onto our websites. It was that time everything was turning to digital. You had the portals, the Bizzles coming up, Property Finder coming up. It was all freehold papers before. Everyone used to advertise in freehold golf news. Yeah. And it was like that thick. I mean, you can't see on the radio, but you can imagine how thick it was.
Yeah, well, I guess that's changed now. That there would have been a period there where you would have been trying to say to people who were selling their property, you need to invest online. You got to invest on, and they would have been, no, let's go in magazines and newspapers overseas. And how hard was there to get in the mindset of people that, no, you need to adapt to this new technology?
I mean, it was very different over there at that time. So we were just calling people, trying to get listings. They weren't really focused on how you're going to sell it. Are you on the freehold? People on the freehold or the magazines were advertising projects, not listings as much at that time. So it wasn't that much of a challenge to get the listings. The competition was a lot smaller back then also.
And where to next for Provident Real Estate? How far can you see this going or growing, or how much have you got left in you to keep going with it?
I think it's still the beginning of our journey, to be honest. We're opening offices in Palm Jumeirah next month. We have another office in Al Barsha. We're opening an office in London. We've already signed the agreement, and we're looking to expand in the region. We're looking into Saudi Arabia, Qatar, also, because I think these are going to be major markets. And the ultimate goal of the company is to go IPO and get listed and hopefully be one of the first real estate agents, brokers in Dubai to be listed.
Incredible.
Yeah, so that's the goal of the company. And we're always focused on increasing our market share in the industry, obviously.
So in your time with Provident Real Estate, when you're looking at setting up an office in London, is that because you were specifically looking at entering into the London real estate market, or is that an opportunity to find investors or buyers for the UAE?
Buyers for the UAE. We were doing a lot of roadshows in the UK pre-COVID, and we were doing pretty well. And then I just felt, let's establish a ground over there again and get some business over to Dubai from the UK.
And when you are looking at selling Dubai, are these the same points that we touched on earlier? People enjoy that it's a growth opportunity, it's the security of the country, it's the investment by the government that make it attractive to have property here.
100%. I mean, this is what most of them. We do roadshows all around the world, not in the UK only. We've got a roadshow happening in Monaco, in Marseille. Next month, we just finished Tokyo, we just finished Osaka, we just finished Milan, Rome.
So where are you not doing roadshows? It's easier.
Well, yeah, a lot of places.
Yeah.
We're doing roadshows all the time. People, their main importance is safety and security. Do you get what I mean? And obviously their return on investment and looking at Dubai as a long term and could they move over there. So, as a company, we're not only offering real estate, we help people in opening bank accounts. We help people in setting up licenses. We have a mortgage company also. We do property management. We also own a holiday home. So when someone buys a property from us that's ready, we furnish it for them. We do short-term leasing, daily, weekly, monthly, and we pay them on a monthly basis. So we cover everything from A to Z for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal story in what you've done. But to look back on this time, ever since you launched it to where we are in 2023, what are the key lessons that you've learned? Where are those times where certain things didn't go as you anticipated, that if you could have your time over, you'd do it differently?
I mean, look, it's all part of the experience and the journey. You got to make these mistakes and learn from them. So I would never change that. But I always say, your time's your most valuable asset. Use it wisely. Never be too comfortable, because the moment you're comfortable, your competition is going to take you over. Be dynamic like the city, or ever evolving. Like today, AI is on the topics all the time, and even the marketing team, we're using AI today to help us with our ads, coming up with better content, better different things that we're using for the marketing. So you got to always be adapting to the changes in your city and in the world, what's going on, to have that competitive edge. And that's the edge that we had in 2008, that we focus online and digital on websites where people were still doing. I always say, your time's your most valuable asset. Use it wisely. Never be too comfortable. Because the moment you're comfortable, your competition is going to take you over.
We're talking to DIWA this week, and they were discussing how they're going to be the first utility company in the world to be able to use ChatGPT, and also they've got DIWAverse in the metaverse.
Yeah.
And I think when you hear the government is setting that trend, that's what inspires the business community, isn't it? That, hang on, we need to keep up with these advancing technologies. Have you looked into the metaverse at any stage?
Of course, 100%.
And what are your thoughts? Are you long on this or short on metaverse?
I don't know. I think metaverse is very, very long. I'm not short on it. I think it's a very long haul for the metaverse. It's something interesting. I am interested in crypto, and I have invested myself on a personal level. Metaverse, we were looking at actually opening an office in the metaverse. I was in talks with a company that does that. But I just felt it's not the right time for it. I think it's just too early. People don't understand it yet so much, and they don't know how to use it properly. So it's something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. But I think it's a bit of a long haul still.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to host, because it's Dubai, a lot of metaverse conferences. And when you're looking how that works with real estate, that was the first thing I thought of is, well, if you could put on a headset and actually walk in to the house and see your furniture in there and see how it looks. If you're the estate agent that can do that, that's a huge
100%.
Huge sell compared to your competitors.
I mean, but that's existed already before. You've got 3D things that you can put the renderings and do the walkthrough. We've been approached by a company where they have an office in a metaverse that people can walk into your office in a metaverse and you can meet them and discuss with them. I'm like, that's a great idea, but I don't think people are ready now to walk into the metaverse and talk to me. They could just get on Zoom right now. Do you get what I mean? So this is why I still feel the metaverse is still early stages, but 100% where you can walk in and do a walkthrough of a property is an amazing thing, definitely.
We speak to, on the Drive Show TSB, we speak to a lot of businesses, and so much is becoming digital, ChatGPT and metaverse, that sometimes face-to-face relationships and basic human skills are sort of going out the window. But that's still a key point in real estate. In doing those dealings. How are you finding with the next generation of perhaps brokers or real estate agents that are they still having the same personal skills that you would have found when you started in 2008?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, look, we have got a whole training on the psychology of sitting down with a client and everything. I think it's very important. Relations. I think 40% of our buyers buy from us again, and a lot of our business is referral business. So it's if you didn't have that human touch, how are you going to get that referral business? So I think it's very important still.
Well, I'm fascinated by that. What is the psychology that you need to learn, and what are the tips that you put your employees through when you're in this training process?
So we have Dr. Anna that comes to our office that trains the new starters and obviously our veteran agents all the time. I mean, you got to understand, there's different. You got the creative clients, you got the technical clients. You got to really understand their left brain, right brain, the way they think, the way you want to communicate with them, the way you sit with them. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be facing them directly. You want to be sitting right next to them, asking them the right questions, be patient with them, understand when to ask a question and just wait for them to answer you. So that kind of human behavior that we're training the agents on.
Yeah, I think that is a very, very key point and a great investment, I think, in your staff as well. 0586861003. If you would like to join the conversation this morning, Loai Fakir, the CEO of Provident Real Estate, is joining us here. He's been here in real estate, and his company has been running since 2008. The biggest lesson, what has been the biggest lesson since beginning in the real estate industry here that you found?
The biggest, I mean, it's a lesson every day over here.
Okay.
We're learning
what did you learn yesterday?
Yesterday was quite a hectic day in the office. So, like, I was saying some agents lost opportunity, and I told you real estate is a roller coaster. Yeah. I mean, you got to love what you do and be passionate and don't give up. I mean, if you want to see what I learned yesterday, don't give up.
Well, that tenacity is obviously key in any industry. And we spoke at the start about how there's this glitz and glamour. People see all the reality shows and Dubai bling, and they watch all these things and they think, oh, I want to come out and do real estate on the palm. But obviously, it's not really that glamorous. What is the other side of the industry in your work at Provident? They see the glamour, but they don't see that other part of the industry that you need to educate people if they want to get into.
Look, I mean, I told you there's a lot of work. I mean, people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week in order to get their business. Trying to get a listing, you got to make so many calls, follow up, get the pictures done, get the documentation. A lot of paperwork is done. You need to go get the photo shoot done, get the agreement signed by the client, update it every few months, going negotiating, doing viewings with clients. Clients will book a viewing, don't show up. Do you get what I mean? Or they put an offer, you put the offer to the seller, then your buyer disappears. So many things can go wrong, so many things can go right. It's a roller coaster every day, and it's an emotional roller coaster.
So yeah, it's that mindset, that positivity, and the tenacity to keep in check. 0586861003. A message has come through from Fazella. Hi, I have one question. You probably get this all the time. I have one question. Where is the best part of Dubai to invest in if I'm looking to purchase at the moment?
Look, there's a lot of great investment opportunities, but right now what I really like that I feel that still hasn't increased in value so much and it has great potential is Creek Harbour, Dubai. You got some great, amazing products over there in developments, and I think it's still the park just finished. It's on the creek. It signifies downtown, and it's on the creek. It's a beautiful project. The prices have just increased a little bit. I feel that it's going to increase a lot more. Dubai Hills is a great place to invest in. Still, it's a great family community.
I've spent a lot of time there in the last couple of months. I've really been impressed, and it's a great location between downtown and the marina.
Correct. You got Dhabi Hills is a great project. You got Tilal Al Gaf is also a great project. So
Tilal Al Gaf, that is extraordinary.
It's beautiful. They got the Crystal Lagoon.
Yeah, if you don't know, it's just sort of past Sports City, and a friend, I had to go host an event there, and they showed me some pictures, and I just thought it was on the palm because it was on the beach. And then I'm looking in Google Maps, I'm going, what?
They've created their own Crystal Lagoon.
There's their own lagoon in the middle of the development.
And you can swim in it.
Yeah. But then there's a lagoon, but people also want to have a pool at their house.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In the Dubai style. And is that the benchmark now when we look at architectural design for home villas, that area? Or is it going to be, you can perceive it being raised again in Dubai style?
They keep on raising the bar over here. You got Dhabi and Dhabi Lagoons. They've created their own lagoons over there with a lot more activities and things where you can do canoeing over there, activities, wall climbing and different parks and fishing and all that kind of stuff. So, what's so extraordinary about the developers over here, they keep on putting the power up and up and up that you don't see anywhere else in the world.
So going back to the question, to give you the answer there to Fazella, obviously you said Creek Harbour?
Creek Harbour, I really feel is really good. Dubai Hills, Dhabi Hills, obviously in Tilal Al Gaf are great projects.
Fantastic. I think they're great projects that if you're looking to invest in, 0586861003. This is Talk Real Estate. We're in conversation until 11 this morning with the CEO of Provident Real Estate, Loai Fakir. If you do have a message for us, let us know, 0586861003. When we look at those real estate markets in Saudi and Qatar, are they looking at Dubai really as a benchmark, as something they want to try and clone and copy with the success of real estate?
I'm sure they are. If you've seen all the projects that Saudis are launching, like that city that's just like a long straight line, the neon building. It's a bit crazy. I don't know what they're going to build because they don't. I don't feel they're realistic projects. Is it a marketing gimmick or not? But
it's getting worldwide headlines. Maybe that's the agenda.
100%, but they are going to be doing something great, and something about the market that we need to be looking at, definitely.
Well, one of the great things about Dubai is they consistently are making headlines around the world. One of the big ones is the new project, Rahman Island. It's going to feature 1,800 beach villas, 1,000 branded residences, a hotel and a marina. And this new concept, which is about 20 minutes from the shores of mainland Abu Dhabi. And we got discussing about this during the song because we were mentioning the Jebel Ali Palm. But you're a big believer in Rahman Island. Is going to be a great property opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. It's beautiful. I mean, it's developed by Eagle Hills, which is owned by Mohammed Al Abbar, which was one of the founders of MR Developers, the pioneers of real estate of Dubai. And it's his new master project. Rahmani Island, located in one of the islands close to Saadiyat Island in Abu Dhabi. It's a prime, beautiful locations. I don't know if you guys have been to Abu Dhabi Islands. It's just natural beauty. Looks like the Maldives, crystal clear waters. And all these villas from 3 to 7 bedrooms are going to be waterfront properties on the water. So you have your pool if you want, you have the beach with all the facilities and the amenities, and obviously you're going to have the hotels, all the retail and everything. It's going to be like a whole community over there.
We talk about Dubai's growth and obviously the growth in the real estate sector, but Abu Dhabi sometimes gets forgotten about. Do you think, are there aspirations to have Abu Dhabi to, sort of enjoy some of the success of Dubai's property over the last couple of years?
I'm sure they are. I mean, Abu Dhabi is a beautiful city. It's very different. They've got some amazing projects. Yes, they haven't had the boom that Dubai has had in terms of foreign direct investments, in terms of real estate, but they do have a very healthy real estate development over there. It's more of a local or regional market. I think with the Rahmani Island now, we're going to be seeing a lot more going on over there.
Yeah, that foreign investment coming in is really driving the price.
Correct.
Yeah, 0586861003. If you would like to join the conversation, this is Talk Real Estate, and we're joined here just for the remaining couple of minutes. We're in conversation here with the CEO of Provident Real Estate, Loai Fakir. Your success has been great with Provident. You've got offices starting up. You're looking at the IPO very soon. Are there any plans to branch out away from real estate or brokerage, any other associated sectors you're looking to invest in?
All our businesses are related to the industry currently right now. I am looking, I've been involved in crypto a lot myself, but I'm really interested in AI right now. And I think AI is going to be revolutionary. I think AI, you know how you had the Industrial Revolution where the world changed, accelerated. I think AI's in the next couple of years, you're going to see a huge acceleration in the world and changes. It's going to change the world, and I believe you got to be involved some way or another in AI.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be one of those technologies that the growth will be there, and 5 years down the track we'll be using it every day and not realise when the change happens. So to get on board early. But you mentioned crypto. There's some companies that are doing a lot of work in terms of being able to purchase parts of properties through blockchain. Have you ever looked into that situation of people that may not have the money for a whole unit, but they want to purchase a share of a unit through?
That's called fractional ownership. Already exists today. So you got a couple of companies doing it called Stake and Smart Crowd. Yeah. So you can buy a fraction of a property, invest 10,000 to 50,000 dirhams, and own a percentage of a property.
Do you see that? Is that an attractive option for someone who may not have the capital to purchase a unit?
It is, and people have. I know people that have invested and made a lot of money, and these two companies are quite successful. They are trying to go into the tokenized system, but currently right now it's a fractional ownership via a company. That's going to be changed, and they're trying to put in the blockchain, but that's going to take time because they got to work with the land department on that, and there's not enough regulation on it currently. But I've known people to invest and have made money in fractional ownership.
So there is
I haven't invested. I mean, if you have money to buy
a whole place, why would you buy?
Buy a small percentage. Correct. Yeah.
No, if you can buy the whole pizza, why not buy the whole?
Correct.
Pizza?
Yeah. Exactly.
0586861003. We're speaking here on Talk Real Estate with the CEO of Provident Real Estate, Loai Fakir. We've discussed a lot of things, but we'll go back to the start again for people who might just be joining us this morning. If you're hearing all about the boom with the property market and they're looking to get investing, the first step, get yourself a mortgage broker and try and work out your financial position.
Exactly. Speak to a mortgage consultant, understand your financial position, and then speak to a consultant. I mean, consultant will understand the market, understand the regulation, and understand your needs, because there's so much options, to be honest, and there's so much going on that even if you do your research, you're going to be lost. When you speak to a consultant, they can really understand you and guide you in the right direction.
How quickly can someone go from making a decision today, I want to purchase a property, to actually getting the signature down? How long would that take?
I mean, we've had someone call us and within like 3 hours they had purchased a property with us. It's happened before. If it's an off-plan property, obviously if it's a ready property, secondary, obviously there's a lot of paperwork involved. It can take some time. If you're a cash buyer, it can take a couple of weeks or a couple of days, depending.
Do off-plan properties, do you think they provide a more attractive investment?
Everything's different. Really depends on your requirements. Buying an off-plan property, you're paying in stages, so you're not putting all your money up at one time. You benefit of the capital appreciation when the property is handed over. However, your money's stuck for a certain period. When you're buying a ready property, it's being rented, it's on a holiday home maybe, and you're making ROI plus a capital appreciation. So it really depends on what kind of your requirements, and that's why it's very important to speak to a consultant, because he'll understand you and he'll give you the right advice.
Looking at the other side of things, if I own a property and I'm looking to sell, I want to put it on the market, there's probably no shortage of buyers at the moment in Dubai, but what are your first steps? You're speaking to an agent and
definitely,
and
because you need to get the proper value of the property. Sometimes I've seen people, even in today's market, undervalue their property, and I've seen people way overvalue their property where it won't end up selling. So when you speak to a consultant, he will do a comparative market analysis for you based on the transactions that have happened in your building or your area, and come back to you with a realistic amount that you'll be able to sell your property with a certain period.
Okay, so it is the first key step is always either if you're looking to buy, get yourself a broker, or get in and see the guys at Provident Real Estate, Dubai's award-winning real estate agency, and they'll be able to help you out. Loai Fakir, congratulations on all of your success. It's been great to hear part of your journey and part of your story ever since coming here in 2005. It's a real Dubai story of turning up to do something else and then setting up an award-winning business a couple of years later. So congratulations, and if you do want more details, you can check out them on all the socials or the website providentestate.com for Provident Estate. You can join us here on Talk 100.3. We are back on TSB from 3 o'clock this afternoon, where we will be joining with TSB Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.3.